Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead or Leaving Egypt, depending on which video platform you like to watch your content on. My name is Justin, and today we are sitting here in front of the garden. Those are the tomato plants that you see over my shoulder, and that sack right there is a burlap sack full of baling twine from our square bales that we save whenever we are feeding our hay to our animals. That way we can use that twine to tie up our tomato plants. There's no sense in buying extra twine when you already have the twine from the square bales that you have already paid for. You see, the ability to look ahead is a good thing. And I wish I was better at it, if I'm just being honest. However, I come across this article the other day talking about using a smartwatch type device to be able to alter your DNA in such a way that you don't have things like diabetes anymore. Now, that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? For everybody that's diabetic, you can just put on a watch-like thing. You don't have to worry about it no more. Everything's good. It alters your DNA. No issues, no problems. It cuts out the bad things in your DNA that cause the insulin resistance or whatever it is. And so let's just get us all smartwatches that control and alter our DNA, right? Doesn't that sound great? Except for looking ahead, what kind of problems might that cause? These are the things we're going to discuss in this video. If that sounds interesting to you, I would ask that you stick around for the remainder of the video. Usually right about now, you would be hearing my wife sing the song Amazing Grace and doing a beautiful job at it at that. However, I want to take this time to remind you that all of the information that I have found can be found in the description box down below. All the links are there, along with the links to our Rumble page as well. Thank you guys. Okay, so this technology is called DART. Remember that as we go through this video. The technology is called DART, right? This is a little snippet from that article. DART requires very little power and overall energy to control target gene expression, and the control of DART requires only a simple manual electrical on-off switch. And they have figured out that it takes a very minuscule amount of electro charge of some sort to go through you or to affect your DNA, to change it. And then they can use that specific electric charge, not one that shocks you or anything like that, one that you don't even feel. They can use that electric charge to alter your DNA, to cut things out of your genes, such as diabetes and those kinds of things. Now, once again, that sounds pretty cool, right? Sounds pretty helpful. But if we connect our smart devices to the Internet of Things, which it is connected to, and then we are using that to effectively hack our DNA to try to make it better, then how easily are you as a human hackable at that point? This is a study from the NIH, and it says this: directly interfacing wearable smart electronic devices with therapeutic gene expression will advance the next generation of personalized therapies by linking biopharmaceutical interventions to the Internet of Things. They were studying how to work on type 1 diabetes. What other things could that be used for? Could nations around the world that go to war with one another, could they hack that internet feed that goes to those smart devices that you are wearing that is altering your DNA? Could they then use that to alter your DNA in such a way that is harmful to you, that kills you, or that makes you very ill, especially military-aged men that aren't able to fight, right? How easy would that be? Or how about your own government? Oh, surely our government wouldn't do medical testing on us. We're not Israel, after all. Remember Benjamin Netanyahu saying, well, let me just show you what he said.
To tell you whether these vaccines, what do they do to people, not individual people, not with their individual identities, but statistically, what does it do to people with, meningitis? What does it do to people with high blood pressure? What is it, you want to know that. So Israel became, if you will, the lab for Pfizer, and that's how we did it. We got it out, and we gave the information to the world. Not only it's been published in medical magazines and so on. That's what database we have. I intend to bring on that database of personal medical records for an entire population, a genetic database, genomes, okay? Give me a saliva sample, volunteer, but I'm sure most people would do it. Maybe we'll pay them. Now we have a genetic record on a medical record of a robust population.
We wouldn't be treated like lab animals, would we? So, the push to wear these smartwatch type devices to control and to hack your DNA, to alter your DNA, is being billed as sell of goods as if it is going to help your health. However, well, that sounds fine and dandy. You need to be able to learn to look ahead a little bit and go, what other kinds of things could this do? How could this make me ill? How could this make me sick? Does this make me a hackable human being? And then the next question I had, because in the article it speaks as if it takes a very minute amount of electricity targeted at a certain way so that it can alter your genetics, it can alter your DNA. So then my question is, well, what about wirelessly? Can they wirelessly begin to alter our DNA? So I looked into it just a little bit, and here is what I found. According to this website, the NIH has released a report outlining the risks and dangers posed by both 5G and 4G wireless technologies, which are linked to acute and persistent oxidative stress in the body. Prolonged exposure to 5G and 4G radiation can result in damage to cells, tissues, proteins, and DNA, as well as suppression of natural immunity. These effects could explain why the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19 has been particularly ravaging in areas where these technologies are prolific. According to this website, that is their opinion. At least why these effects could explain the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19 has been particularly ravaging in areas where these technologies are prolific. That's their opinion. So according to this website, the NIH posted a study not too long ago that said, sure enough, 4G and 5G seems to have an effect on our DNA. And the cool thing is, right, you think about it, you're like, you know what, I just won't have any of that stuff. I won't have 5G internet, I won't have a 5G phone, I won't have a 5G smartwatch that I'm wearing and all that. And that's all fine and dandy. I don't have nothing against that. But how can you avoid the 5G style frequencies going through the world? How can you avoid it? You can't avoid it, right? It's going to go through your house, it's going to go through your homes and your cars and all of those kinds of things. As soon as you are outside or inside even, it's going to go right through those things. You can't really get away from it. Let me try to spell out the immense problem that this could be. Quite literally, if they are designing things in such a way where the electro frequency can alter your DNA, if they want to develop it wirelessly, there is absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. You cannot have informed consent. You cannot avoid it. You cannot get away from it. You can't ask for it or not ask for it. You're going to get it whether you like it or not. Now, the original idea of having the smartwatch type technology on your wrist or what have you that is called DART, that is optional. But if they begin to play with this wireless type stuff where it can alter our DNA positively or negatively, whether you want it or whether you don't, it may be awful hard to avoid. Now, I find this extremely interesting that it is called DART. I'm not saying this is that, if this makes sense to what I'm about to say. However, the Bible says this about the armor of God. Above all, meaning the most important, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all of the fiery darts of the wicked. That you may be protected from the what? The fiery darts of the devil. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm going to avoid these types of things with everything that I possibly can. I am going to avoid wearing smartwatches so that I can be hacked and tracked, right? I'm going to avoid that with all that I can. And yes, I know smartphones and cell phones and all those things will probably be capable of doing the same things if they're not already. And 5G and all of that kind of stuff, capable of doing similar things if they're not already. But I think if you asked anybody with any sort of common sense, hey, would you like a little bit of poison or a lot of bit of poison? You're probably going to choose a little bit of poison if you have no other choice at all. If those are your only two choices, a lot of poison or a little poison, I think we would all choose a little poison. Interesting fact, the Bible also says that if the children of God drink poison, it will not hurt them. This is from the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 18, speaking of some of the abilities of the believers. It says, they shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. It's interesting, huh? Now, I don't believe that means we tempt God. I don't believe that means we purposely go out and drink poison to show that God's going to protect us. However, I do think it means that if Satan tries to use his trickery, if you will, to get the children of God to consume poison of any kind, I believe God will protect us and watch over us. However, once you know, you know. And I believe that then at that point you are tempting God if you continue to consume the poison, whatever that thing might be. And there's lots of different kinds of poison. I'm not just talking about stuff that makes you physically ill, right? But there's poison of the mind and poison of the heart and all of these types of things. My question to you today is this concerning to you that they are developing technology called DART technology that they want people to be able to wear up on their wrist or what have you so that they can alter their DNA? It seems as though as mankind we are under attack, even at our most basic levels, such as our genes, our DNA. At our most basic levels, mankind is trying to hack man at its most basic level. That's fairly interesting to me. So what are your thoughts on it? Comment down below. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next video.